Hey traders, welcome back. It is time once again for another performance review for our 2022 year and one of our favorite strategies that we actually added this last year. It is fairly new to the trading room. We started about summertime or so, and this is again, it turned out to be a great trading strategy for us. We've absolutely loved it, even though it's been challenged a few times. And this is the long Vega diamond ladder trade. Hey traders, welcome back. It is time once again for another performance review for our 2022 year and one of our favorite strategies that we actually added this last year. It is fairly new to the trading room. We started about summertime or so, and this is again, it turned out to be a great trading strategy for us. We've absolutely loved it, even though it's been challenged a few times. And this is the long Vega diamond ladder trade. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at these results. Again, this is a trade that we started up sometime in the summertime in July. And so we have about a half a year's of data on this trade. But it's always awesome when a trade works out well. The results are what we desire. And it was under challenging times. We've all done trades that turned out amazing, and a good portion of that was luck. We were just in the trade at the right time, in the right situation, and it just kind of worked out for us. But when a trade is basically just continually challenged and it still works out for us, you know you're onto something. And so that's kind of what we have here with this particular setup. It is the DIA, or the diamonds, long Vega ladder strategy. So I wish I had a better graphic for us, but this is what we're working with here, is the diamonds ladder trade with a long Vega portion attached to it. So as is always the case with our trading strategies and the trades that we put up, I want to go over our performance for 2022 and give an overview, first of all, of what the trade is, how the trade works, give you a link to a little bit of a training video if it's not something that you're familiar with, and then obviously go over the results for the year, and then try to share one or two key trading takeaways that I think are salient for all of us as traders, in terms of, hey, when you're out there and you're looking for a particular strategy to meet your needs and your goals and your desires, there's some things that each trade has or doesn't have. And there's no panacea. There's no one trade that meets all criteria. So if you can really understand the pros and cons of each individual trading strategy, then I think it can set you up well. So let's talk a little bit about the overview of this program. So some of the details of this trading setup is we generally have 3 ladders working simultaneously on this trade. And if you're not familiar with ladders, again, I'm going to drop a link in the description box below for the training video on this particular trade. We have several different trades that we do ladder strategies on. The diamonds are just one of them. But we usually run 3 ladders at a time. Each ladder is about $1,000 of buying power per ladder. So $1,000 of buying power per ladder that we put up. We're looking on each ladder, we're looking for a $100 credit. And so that actually ends up meaning that we have about $900 of buying power tied up in each individual ladder. Okay. And again, we usually have 3 ladders on at one given time. And so you can ramp that up. You can scale that, again, according to your position sizing. But for my account, generally, again, speaking, I use a $100,000 model portfolio for our trading room, our live trading room. We don't want to put more than 10% into any one position. And then we want to scale that in basically a third at a time. And so if I'm starting with about $3,000, obviously 10% of 100,000 would be 10 grand. I start with a third of that. That's about $3,000. That lets me scale 3 times into the trade, still be below my position sizing rule, and be comfortably positioned in that trade. So I work with 3 ladders. Everybody works with a different number of ladders, but that's sort of how I set mine up, is 3 ladders. And you can obviously add more contracts to this. This would be 1 contract. Each ladder is just 1 contract. Okay, so you can ramp that up, contract size, again, depending on your position sizing. Now, results-wise, this is, I think, what's interesting. We actually started this strategy on 7/7 of 22, but we used the SPX. We did not use the DIAs. And so it was actually, even we did start this strategy. It is our official results go from July 7th of 2022 to the end of the year. But it was actually July 19th of 2022 that we started using the DIAs, the diamonds. And it has been an absolutely impressive performance. So we have had typically, again, 3 ladders starting with 1 contract. I've ramped that up a little bit over time. And so I've had as much as $6,000 of buying power tied up in the trade. I've had as little as $2,000. But the average buying power that I've had in the trade was $4,000 buying power. That's my average. Okay. Again, it's been a little bit less. It's been a little bit more. And here are the numbers from that particular trade, going back again to 7/7 of 2022. So on average, with $4,000 of buying power, I brought in $1,948.46. And that's net. That's after all fees and commissions. That was the profit on that particular setup. That worked out to basically 48.7% ROI on the trade. And if you annualize that, that's 97.4% APR. Darn near close to a 100% return, annualized return. So it's been absolutely fantastic. It has basically hit on all cylinders. We have not had no losing trades. So since the first week of July, twice a month, we have added new ladders to this position. So every 2 weeks, we are adding new ladders to this position. This is a trade that we add to bi-monthly. Okay, no losing trades, not a single losing trade. And I think you're going to see how impressive that is in just a second when you see really what we were up against in 2022. And so really the key takeaway here, folks, is how much flexibility can you build into a trade? I don't care if you call it scaling. I don't care if you call it position sizing. I don't care if you call it dollar cost averaging. Call it what you want. But having the ability to mold and shape and form a trade as time goes by. This isn't a static trade. We're not taking our money, throwing it at a trade, and then crossing our fingers and hoping that it works. This is a trade that is a trade that ebbs and flows. It's consistently changing. It's consistently moving forward. Every 2 weeks, we are adding another component to this trade. So it is, I think, in my book, when you are trying to build flexibility into your trading strategies, there's not a lot that can compare to what a ladder trade can give you. And it has been amazing for us. So if you look at these numbers, and again, I always give my caveat here that all of these numbers are wrong. We know they're wrong because to extrapolate out a result into the unknown future over a 9-year period of time, come on. We know that it's going to be different, right? You're going to make, I can guarantee you one thing here, you're going to make more or you're going to make less, but you're not going to make exactly 97.4% a year. But we have to go with something, right? And actually, I don't know that there's any better number to go with. People do hypotheticals and they do paper trading and they do back testing. I don't know that there's any number that is better to go with than actual real world trading results. Not hypotheticals, real world results. And that was our real world result for 2022, was an APR of 97.4%. What would that mean? Well, it would mean that you could potentially turn $4,000 into $1.8 million in 9 years. It's a pretty good rate of return. It's a pretty good rate of return. To say that we are pleased with our results is an understatement. So it's been an absolutely fantastic trade for us. And again, I think that the key to all of this is really the attitude that you have as a trader. Are you going into your trades in a binary setup or a dynamic setup? Are you going into a binary trade? That is, if you're honest, it's a buy and hope. It is a buy and hope trade. You do the best that you can with the research that you have, but ultimately you have to step up to the plate, you make that investment, and then you cross your fingers and you hope for the best. And it either works and you make money and you look like a genius, or it doesn't, and then hopefully you got a stop loss to limit the downside, right? That's a binary trade versus a dynamic trade, which is ebbing and flowing. And we are basically scaling slowly in and out of these trades. So why is that so important? Well, the real key to understanding this, I think, is basically one of our mantras that we use as traders. We talk about this every single day in our trading room. We hope for the best and we expect the worst. We look at our trades and we all know as a credit trader how much profit potential is in that trade. That's one of the nice things about selling premium or collecting credits on trading options, is that you do know right up front what the possible profit on the trade is, right? So we all look at that. I mean, obviously we're going to look at that, but immediately we change our focus and attention to expecting the worst. We basically expect that every trade we ever put any money into is going to go against us, and that we're going to be wrong, and that we have to have some sort of backup system to be able to compensate for that, right? So we put a trade together. This is more the long Vega diamond ladders is a delta neutral strategy. It's a delta neutral strategy. So, ideally, we would like to see something kind of go like this over time, right? But we know that that's not always going to be the case. And so on the off chance that we're wrong and the market takes off or even crashes, we want to be able to scale into our positions slowly over time. And again, nothing is as expeditious or efficient in building out that type of a trading plan than a ladder trade. Ladder trades are awesome for that standpoint. And, if you look at the diamonds here, you can see that here's July. This is when we started trading the diamonds. And again, what we're looking for is something like this. This would be an ideal environment for a delta neutral strategy, right? Just something that's kind of chugging along between a nice support, nice resistance level. We get into this trade, and I think you can agree that if you're trying to trade a delta neutral strategy, the last half of last year was probably the worst environment to ever trade that strategy in. This may very well be the worst environment ever for a delta neutral strategy. You can see, almost immediately the diamonds take off, and then they crash, and then they take off again, and now they're coming back down. This is the antithesis of what we were hoping that this trade would do. And yet, because we were laddering in and laddering out of this trade, we were able to scale in at higher prices as it went up and lower prices as it went down, and higher prices as it went up and lower prices as it's coming down. We've been able to be flexible in our results. And that gave us just an astounding 97.4% APR. Just absolutely astounding results. So we're thrilled with the results of the trade. We're thrilled with the ladder strategy. We have several ladder strategies that we employ, not just on the diamonds. We do it on oil. We do it on gold. And you'll be seeing those performance review videos here shortly. But it's been an absolute success for us. It's really hard to hope for more than 97% annualized rates of return. So very, very pleased with that. And again, a lot of individuals are interested in checking these strategies out for themselves, seeing for themselves real hand. And we have the ability for you to do that at no risk. We have a free 1-week trial that you can jump in, check out the program. Talk with our members, talk with our trading members. Ask them what they think about the program and what their feelings are on the strategies and how satisfied or dissatisfied they are. And I think you'll get a lot of really, really constructive feedback. If you like it, you can sign up for a month. And if you follow all of the steps that we ask you, all of the trainings, we're going to give you over 4 hours of training in the program as you get started. That just comes with the program. If you don't feel after all of that this is the highest value oriented live trading room online today, give you 200 times back your monthly subscription. So there's absolutely no risk in the program. Now, we are looking for experienced traders. We're very, very serious about what we do here. There are, I just saw a live trading room demonstration with a fellow that does 0 DTEs with butterflies. And it was a joke. That's the only trade he does. They're basically gambling. They're basically guessing. There's no money in the trade. Nobody's making any money with this strategy. It's just enjoyment. It's just entertainment. That's not what we're here for. So we're looking for people that are serious. We're looking for people that are probably our best go-to member is that individual that is not necessarily desiring to make it happen right away, but would ultimately love to be able to replace their day job with trading. So there, you have to be serious, okay? Also, if you're in a live trading room right now and all they're doing are 0 DTEs, you're going to come to the conclusion at some point that you need to upgrade what you're doing and become a real trader versus somebody that is just gambling with 0 DTEs. And so, again, if you meet those criteria, you might be a good fit for our trading room. We'd love to talk to you. We'd love to bring you in, and you can chat with our hundreds of members that we already have in the live trading room. And again, I think you'll get some powerful, powerful feedback in 7 days of hanging out with us at no cost. So you can do that by going to the website, try 0 DTE for free. I do think, again, that it is the most robust live trading room online today. I don't think that you're going to find anything that compares to this. The other thing that I will just say as well is I have just started this year. Very appreciative, first of all, for those of you that have made a donation using this link right here, even if it's $10. We're trying to raise some funds for the Juvenile Diabetes Association. And at the end of 2023, next December, we're going to have a little virtual meeting with all of those of you that have contributed and just celebrate you guys as great human beings for doing that. So I appreciate that. You can donate any amount that you want, but if you donate $50, we are doing a first of all, I'll send you a T-shirt if you donate $50, and then number two, we are doing once a month. It's going to be probably the third Sunday of each month. We'll do a live Zoom session, and we'll go through your trading and what's going on and see how we can help you become better traders. And it'll just be a moment for you and I to be able to talk one-on-one, face-to-face. So I'd appreciate it if you check that out as well. But we appreciate all you guys. And again, this has been the review of our long Vega DIA trade. It's a powerful, powerful system. Again, I will drop a link in the description below of the overall training of the program if you're not familiar with it.